सलाम मेरे अजीज पंखों।
Jungkook had walked around midnight, feeling a sharp pain in his head. He had forget to take the painkillers. Might side effect of he got baby from the bed and take that medicine. After freshen up, he returned to the bed and noticed the uncle up to the corner of the bed. The silk sheet covered his face toward him. They looked even asleep. His glitter taking a glimpse of the breathtaking features, a small part of his rosy lips. He lied down and focused on their lips. The sting urged her. He was quiet to get rid of the scroll. As he tucked his piece of hair behind his ear, he kissed the skin below of the ear and he relaxed, visibly making him grin. A day with him, and he was already out of the shell. His heart thumping against his chest as he started to their dual lips. Eyes moved to the teasing mole, just at the lower lip, the dim light and chasing the feature, giving him the call to his heart to closer and place that warm lips on the mole. Brushing softly, his eyes fluttered close to his own, and the softness of their skin clouded his senses. He never knew a Mac can be satisfy him to this extent. The skin was soft, so fresh, he groaned, and at the incident through entering the mind and moving back, he saw it there lightly and turned his back to him. Jungkook stayed still for a moment and removed the sheet covering him, and pulled his back. The movement was completely as he will not wake. He pulled the sheets back and wrapped his arms around his stomach, putting his head in the air. It felt so good to have his arm that he could not afford to miss any chance. He felt in the proximity of this time wife. Good night, life. He murdered placed a delicate kiss on the hair. He was never of affecting by the table. Sleep a bit more, they said. I want to use the restroom. They spoke, regaining They waited for a second as he replied, but he didn't move. They wished for him to lie down, but otherwise his arm will not heal soon. Go. They shrugged as he placed a soft kiss below his ear and moved back, pulling away from his arm. They stood up and disappeared in the dressing room, color shimmed to his cheeks and kissed the soft skin below his ear. Jungkook, appearing a sweet sensation, Jungkook chuckled, attending the figure. They were so lovable, not to mention his shyness. It made Taeyoung look more attractive and pure, his pure wife, and closed his eyes. Okay, send it. Jungkook kept the phone on the dressing table and looked at the reflection in the mirror. He had just changed out his casual. With great difficulty, the spear on his arm hurt As he moved, he groaned. Popping on a sofa, set placed on the corner of the room, Miss John had called and told him that he was going to send his breakfast in his room and he had to eat it. He looked around and found the bouquet he bought last night on the dressing table. He found out there he had forget to take out the car after the accident occurred. He had seen a little boy stealing flowers last night, and the first person that flashed across his mind on seeing the pink roses was Taeyoung. He smiled, remembering how they used to give pink roses to everyone when he was a child, whereas he would go to meet Yoongi. They would give a rose to him. It was the only kid who would not find him scary. He chuckled at the thought. It would never be thought that he become his wife. Today was the opposite thought. He acted at it was somebody scared than him. He sighed as he struck the laptop placed on the table. He had work to do, but his mother, him, for leaving the home for at least 2 complete days. He could not even go to university because of his accident. Jungkook released a sign, thinking of amount of work he'll need to complete shortly. A minute has passed that he heard the door open. A smile covered his face when Taeyoung entered the room, followed by his helping hand, a tray of food in his hand. He explained that they asked for help to place the food in front of him. Taeyoung, Jungkook called as he saw him leaving with a helping hand, but they avoided him as much, and he signed for the other coach. Yes, come here. He called calmly as he helped and left the room. As his caution, they looked at his relaxed self, but guess meet him. Quick. He patted the place beside him, and they was quick to react that, while taking a slow step, he reached him. Sit, he headed, and set a little space for him. After last night, they knew everything. He didn't like to or delay. They felt his breath heaved as he skirt closer and sat right beside the way their bodies almost touched. The mask long hit his nostrils, and they clenched together his hand in his lap. Did you have breakfast? His eyes winding on the question. I asked from you, sir. He repeated when they didn't reply. I was going to. 5 feet. You had to answer in yes or no. They tugged on the dress as he watched him, placing the plate in front of him. You eat. I'll eat in a while. They spoke, pushing the plate toward him, and Jungkook smiled. If he could speak a little, he stared and they looked at the and placed it before him. His eyes moved to the west. They shifted back and placed the food and took a glance at him, but looked away instantly when they found him gaping at him. Do you want me to eat with my injured hand? He asked, gazing at Tae, who stared there, and attempted to hide him. How much he was Tae going to hide? He stared, thinking of way to make the up look, and this was the first thing he needed to do this while making his wife speak. They looked at his face in confusion as he inquired, Feed me. The eyes at the movement and statement, the tug on the lips and continued glaze made him anxious. I'm waiting, life. He spoke and pushed the plate back in front of Tae. He tapped his finger on the table and waited for a minute, and Tae clenched the hem of his dress and in his hand, he signed, brushing the tip of his nose. When Tae didn't react, Do you not listen, life? He spoke, placing his hand on his thighs, making the yelp. They blinked, peeking at him, and shrugged. When his hazel met his eyes, the speak of gold, enchanting the orbs. Go on, he said encouragingly, and so sweet as the hard eyes, lips straight. He seems impatient. They forwarded his hand, making the plate, and made a little morsel, his hand shaking all the while, and he kept the calm hand on his thighs, his heart thumping as he brought it near to his face. Bring it closer. He spoke, opening the mouth. Before they could think, he held his hand and brought it closer, taking the morsel in his mouth. They felt the blush rise to his cheek as the warm lips came to the contact with his finger. The hold on his shaky hand, strong as ever. This continued until the finish. That would be hold on their hand and take the morsel in his hand, and purposely brushing his lips on the fingers, licking a few times. His cheeks were flesh a darker shade, and they would look away, hiding the Jungkook find it amazed. Now if you get shy on like this, ever such a small matters, then the matter will become deadly, and you kill me quickly. Now stop shying. Finally, when they drew a breath of relief as he blasted a bomb on him, he didn't know what the closeness did to him, how difficult it'd been for him to feed him, sitting on close to him. He was, and they looked at him in shock. He just shrugged, pointing toward the right arm. We can't move, right? They, son, are you ready? Yes, Umma, I'm ready. Son, you had to leave for university. Maid would have prepared breakfast. Why did you enter the kitchen? Miss John said and looked at his son-in-law, who was to be the best choice for his son in just a week. It's all right, Umma. There is still time before my class start, and I thought of helping a bit. They answered, sitting at the table, and Miss John nodded, getting seated. If you ask me, then I say the food made by you are tastier than once your Umma makes. Mr. John prized the effort and played, making him blush for his compliment. He had developed a soft corner for Jungkook parents in just a week. They were so cute. They wouldn't find it amazed how both of them teased and fought that lovey-dovey all at once. Don't get me to talk, Mr. John. Do you remember when you got married you used to say, Umma, she makes better food than you? They giggled, hearing the remark, and Mr. John laughed. Leave that. Don't be jealous. It's not my mistake that my son-in-law is an expert, he answered, taking a bite and wink at Theo, who fought back a little.